TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the April 16th magical Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Excuse me. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And, of course, the easiest way to do that, well, at least I believe it's the easiest way to do that, it's to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the good in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go check out the circumstance of these markets. We get to go figure out what the bulls, what the bears are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, and more importantly, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in, 877-927-6648. Of course, if you can't dial in, let those fingers do the walking. You can always send me an email, like Michael did here, at steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, inside the Tigers, and any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magical, Magnificent Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, the Dow trade up 304 points, 24,664. Average daily range on the Dow last 10 days, 462 points. The S&P's up 29 points. He's trading out at 2684. NASDAQ up 1% as well. That's 68 points the upside. Russell 2000 up 9/10%, or about 14 points. Semis up 8. They're the weak link. Trannies are up big, 2.25%. That's $237 to the upside. So you got mean and green across the board. Spot volatility index doing what it's supposed to do. You had targeted the spot volatility index to get down into the 16s. Right now it's 1655. So I say bravo to you for making that call out there. You've got gold up $3, trading out at 1350. No big deal. Silver up 2 pennies at 1668. Light sweet crude back about 90 cents, trading out at 66.50. Leading the charge, the upside, Booking Holdings, BKNG. I thought I was going to say BINGO, didn't you? But that's $27.80 to the upside, $27.80. That's 1.3%. Amazon up 16, Google up 13, Loxo Oncology up 11.50, Transdigim Group up 11. To the downside, Acacia Communications off $14, about 35%. That's a stinger. Blueprint Medicine or something like that, BPMC, down N954. That's nearly 10%. Nectar Therapeutics, the sweet nectar, down nearly 9%, or 890. Tesla is off 6. So we have some things to look at. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. Well, it was Michael who wanted to take a look at Valero, I believe. VLO is the ticker symbol. Let me make sure I've got this correct here. So Michael writes in, I've been in since 98, VLO. Let's go take a look at it on a couple of different time frames, some different sets of tools out here. So you've been in 98. It's trading at 105.40. Last time it was 98, in essence, was back on April the 10th. So I'll imagine that you've been in it since about April 10th. That's about 2, 4, 5 trading sessions ago. What do you think is going on? It's a multi-year high and drifting higher. Thank you. So, of course, the first question I would ask when you got into this equity was, well, tell me what you were thinking. I mean that in a positive way, just so I can understand, did you have price targets, how you were trading this? Was this in relationship to anything like light sweet crude or anything along those lines? Let's take a look at the bigger picture. Let's just start with the bigger picture. And right now, as we speak, I don't know that it's going to stop at the 106.04 level, your 105.42, but that is its next ceiling level on the monthly scale for its horizontal trading ranges. So this says on a monthly basis, Michael, maybe this is going to run into resistance at that area. Run into resistance, short-term top. Anything is possible. Let's continue looking at the charts out here. From a monthly standpoint, well, I don't have volume on this, so we're not going to do it on this chart. 105.98, the top of the daily trading range, 106.08, top of the weekly. So we do have some resistance up ahead, or so it appears. Michael, if we take a look at the TAS market profiles, we're going to see that right now as we speak for the month, that price is above the top of that monthly box, 99.95. You're above the weekly. You're above the daily out here. So all looks pretty good. Let's just take a look at last week as an example. See if we can use this as a guideline out here. And the guideline I'm referring to is the swing point from the week of January 22nd, 12.5 million shares. It was surpassed last week with 16 million shares. So in essence, this says you could, on a long-term basis, have quite an A to B equals C to the upside. If we just take a look at that last swing point, August of 2014 as your A point, then we've got January 22nd as your B, a 2-week retracement into February 5th. That was about a 48% retracement out there. The 1-to-1 says 118.63. You have passed the B point with wide price spread, certainly with accelerated volume. That means 128.35 could be in the picture out here. So you might run into some resistance based upon the daily, the weekly, the monthly horizontal trading ranges. You've got, in essence, a confirmed A to B equals C to the upside. You got in it 4 or 5 days ago. I don't know if your thinking is also short-term out there. Not a problem. I just need to really understand your thoughts as you got into this equity and where you thought it was going to. And, you know, what I haven't done here, Michael, I would think that you would want to do is go take a look at Valero Energy, take a look at light sweet crude, and try to understand the correlation there, because then that means you would also want to go ahead and take a look at light sweet crude and figure out what it is doing and whether it's anywhere near some type of high out here. If we take a look at Valero, we're going to see that on a weekly basis, price has been pushing higher with less relative energy. That's the reason why we've got these diagonal lines on my system. Does that mean that this is top? The answer is no, it does not mean that. It means it could, though. The only way that it could would be to see some type of bearish reversal signal. Now, price can continue moving higher with less relative energy out there. It can resolve that by actually finding the energy. I don't know what it's going to do next out here. Just know that you should be somewhat cautious. You should be moving your stop somewhere to protect some type of profit. Of course, if we take, and you might say where, that's an easy thing to determine because your average true range is $2.58. You simply take 258 multiplied times 1.618, get a number out there, and at least set your stop at that level, meaning whatever that calculation is, 350, whatever it is, less today's close out there. That's at least one thing I would do is always, because I'm not seeing anything that says get out of the trade, if that's what you're asking. It's possible that over the course of maybe 2 weeks from now, you get that 7th wave move out here. You can't get it this week, and you can't get it next week. So this could continue, conceivably, could continue moving higher out here. I don't see anything on a weekly basis that says you've got to duck for cover. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the applause sign. We're going to go ahead and just simply, let's take a look on the daily chart out here. We're just simply going to say kudos to you for getting into Valero. VLO. That was from Michael P., who wrote in. You can do the same, folks. Steve at TFNN.com. We get back from this break. We'll see if there's any requests. If not, we'll just go check out the markets, see where they're headed. I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. So anybody see that 60-minute special on Allegiant Airlines last night? I did. I mean, I caught it when I came back from dinner. And the reason is I needed to go watch it because there's a group of us, about 20, probably about 20 couples that are headed to a little happy hour. We're flying well out of town to go do that up in the Carolinas in October. I won't go into the details behind it, but the easiest way to get to this location is to fly Allegiant Air. So I've got 2 tickets on Allegiant Air, and after watching last night's segment on 60 Minutes, I think I will kiss that goodbye instead of kiss my keister goodbye out there. Whether they overblew it or what have you, those being 60 Minutes, there was enough information there for me to say, I think I'll fly into another airport and drive a couple hours to get to the final destination versus actually fly on that. I didn't know anything about Allegiant Air. I knew nothing other than they flew. Basically, it was about a 15-minute drive from where they landed to where we were going, and really sounded good. But you can imagine that the phones were lit up last night because many people had booked those same things. So I'm one to say, you know what? They will likely be the safest carrier. They will. I agree with you, Mr. Z, and I thought about that, which is the opposite side of that trade out there, right? But just in case. Right, just in case, I think I'll just simply. I have the tickets. There's nothing I can do with them. They're not going to go ahead and refund them. But I think I will just pass on it. I don't even know how I got there, other than there was something that popped up on my screen about Allegiant Air. But I did have a request, and maybe this is why it popped up on my screen, because somebody was suggesting, hey, maybe I ought to take the railroad to get there and hop on board CSX. So there was a request to go take a look at CSX out here. We've got Ron from Denver calling, and I didn't mean that in a bad way. I meant that in a good way. So we'll come back to CSX, but, callers, this is call-ahead seating, and if you call, you get to move right to the head of the line. So let's go to Ron in Denver. Ron, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today? Do we have Ron? Ron, do we have you there? I know you want to talk about the XLK and the SPY. If you can hear me, give it another shot. If not, we'll go on to CSX. I'll let the guys in the control room try to figure that out here. But so when he calls back in, we'll certainly go to him. But let's take a look at CSX. Let's go take a look at the train entity, CSX Corp. And the question was just to take a look at it. So not anything about where's this headed. If we take a look at CSX, here's the daily, here's the weekly, here's the monthly horizontal trading range numbers out here. Is there anything that I see here that is of significance? The answer is no. And we're going to come back to CSX because we have Ron back on the line. Ron, thanks for calling back in. I appreciate it. How are you today?
Great, Steve. Appreciate you taking the call.
Sure,
I'm just wondering, I'm long calls on the XLK and the SPY, and they expire Friday. I just wanted to play it for this week. I just wonder what your target ranges on those two would be.
So with regard to the XLK, I believe we talked about it last week, and we said that price was likely to move higher into today, and it certainly is doing that, just slightly higher than higher than it made on Friday when it began pulling back pretty much from. Oh my God, I can't believe I just deleted that. Well, that's a real bummer. I'm going to switch to game plan B out here. So we've hit the target date that we were looking at, and as far as where this could head to, and we're going to try to tie it into the ES Mini too. Other price ranges would be about 67.36 to 67.61, and that is the gap that is open on the XLK. It's the gap that's open on the SPYs, the S&P 500, and oftentimes those gaps can be resistance areas. So you're at 67.01 right now, and the volume on that gap out there, let me try to put this up on the chart for you. The volume out there from that downdraft was about 21 million shares. You're moving up towards it today with 5 million shares so far. So it's going to be light volume. So you're the one that's got to make this. I mean, if you made a nice profit on this, on these call options for the XLK?
Yeah, I'm up. Yeah, I'm ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. You're going to have to, I would think you're going to need to look between certainly now and Friday as an exit area. The good news about today, this is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It's a close call for me on the XLK, Ron. You know, maybe you get 67.36 or 67.61 out there. I don't know if it's worth the time decay for the next several days out here.
Yeah, well, I'll come out today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
How about the SPY? Would that be the same or SPY?
So in the case of the SPY, here's what I'm going to give you. The SPY, the price target area is 263 to, 268. We're already at 268. So it's 268.87 to 270.19 would be the price target area that I would be looking at. It's possible that that the market will continue beyond this, but you're dealing with a real short duration here, and so it makes really trying to time this a little bit more sensitive. We're just more sensitive to both time and price here. Here's what I think is going to take place with regard to the S&P 500, and that is the ES Mini. So I anticipate that it's continue to rise today. What I think will occur, and we're at 26.85, is when the ES Mini gets to 27.05, that's where you could see the snipers really lined up. If we're going to see them, that's the price area. And the reason that I say that is because today we just had a brand new weekly TAS market profile show up. And this profile has a bearish structure to it. Doesn't mean that price can't take it out. But if you knew where the snipers were lined up, now you have to ask yourself, what would you do out here? And if we take a look, I've turned price off, but you'll see that the center line of the box, which is at 26.79, is very close to the top of that box at 27.05. So this should be a very difficult area to get through. It also means if price gets through this area, then that becomes uber bullish, and the S&P probably goes back to its all-time highs. But it's not going to do that by Friday. So I think, again, even with your SPY trades out there, you're running into resistance. It can hit that level overnight. and then start to back off. So I think you're within the range out here where for the type of trade that you took, that you probably take your profits today, tomorrow, something like that. That's what I would be planning on.
Okay. Appreciate that. I appreciate those numbers.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for calling. That was Ron in Denver, and I was taking a look at some call options that he's got expiring on Friday. For the XLK and for the spies out there. So back to CSX out here. Well, let's get back to it when we get back from this break. Otherwise, I'm going to be reviewing it. Nobody's going to hear it because you'll be listening to a wonderful commercial. So we come back. We're going to go focus on CSX. It's trading in the cone of silence. From one of your favorite sitcoms and mine, Get Smart. Chaos could be up next. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So as we take a look at the CSX Corp, we'll put up the daily time frame chart here. You'll see a couple of things. One, if we just take a look at, and I'm not showing trend lines here. I'm showing channel lines, and the difference is we're using the body of the candle to draw our lines. We're looking for 3 points of contact, and so from the low out here, the body of the candle being February the 8th. We take a look at that low. We're also then hitting the close, I should say, the close of April the 6th and the close of April the 9th out there. And that gives us our 3 touch points. And we can see that price is trading within this little cone out here, the old cone of silence. We're doing the same thing from the highs out here. In fact, I probably would draw the highs just a tad lower. There's your actual 3 touch points out here. And so CSX ought to hit resistance at about a price point of around 56.90, give or take out here. If it can get above 56.90, what we should see is a move up to the top of its box. This is a daily profile that we're looking at, 58.40. But right now you have to assume, you don't have to assume anything. I'm going to assume that price is going to run into resistance just a few shekels higher than where it's trading right now. 57.34 would be another resistance point. That is the top of its weekly profile out here. And the top of the monthly profile is 57.63. So if the question is, what is CSX doing? Or if you're going to ask me, should you enter this trade today? My answer would be no. You would try to buy it down around support. Or if you're going to buy a breakout, then let it get above the actual descending channel line out there versus the trend line that we took a look at. If I look at this chart here for CSX, what this shows me is nothing different. It shows me that if price were to close back below Stevie's red line, which is 55.48, you know, that would have a problem. That would be problematic for CSX. Wouldn't be problematic until it broke its most recent swing point from about 2, 4, 6 trading sessions ago. So at this stage here, I don't see a whole lot in CSX as I take a look at its charts out there. So I hope that helps out whoever requested. I don't see the request in here. There was a question about the target price for the ES Mini, and we did that. Ron and I did that. You know, Ron, and I like to do during the breaks if I can, especially if I've just completed a call, is to say, okay, what have I not looked at inside the markets that maybe Ron needs to consider as well? In other words, can these markets, is there any signals to suggest these markets will continue higher, like maybe into Friday or something? And the best signal so far, or the best thing that I would be watching for, is probably the New York Stock Exchange. If we take a look at the New York Stock Exchange, up 106 points, trading on 12,652, about 9/10 to the upside. Ron, today, going into the closeout here, I would say that if the New York Stock Exchange closes above 12,654.72, not to be exact, but let's be exact, above 12,654.72, that is the low from the trading session of March 21st. That established that gap to the downside. Then it will have repaired that window. And what that means is that 12,654.72, instead of being resistance, could become support. Now, the yellow line on my chart, that happens to be the December 29th closing price. That's at 12,808. So let's use, if you want to, use the New York Stock Exchange as your gauge as to whether to hold on for another day or so. Because if the New York Stock Exchange can repair that window, close above that gap, well, then maybe the S&P 500 will do the same out here. What else can we take a look at with regard to the New York Stock Exchange? Well, we can see that its advanced decline oscillator reading is above zero. You're at 107.09. If it closes the gap out here, then there's no reason for it not to target the plus 150 level. We can see that the descending channel lines inside the New York Stock Exchange were clearly broken and tested. So this would say that price could continue moving higher. And that's what I would use, Ron, if you would like to try to squeeze out a few more buckaroonies out there. No guarantee that it will work, but it is the only thing that, well, it's not the only thing. It's one of the things that you and I can look at to say, you know what? If the New York Stock Exchange can go ahead and close that gap and close above it, well, maybe so too will the S&P 500. What else can we do? Well, we can take a look at the Dow. Let's go take a look at what the number is on the Dow out here and see what its gap close would be. And the number here, Ron, is going to be 24,655.40. And I am being, in this case here, exact to the point. This no shtick. This says if you close above 24,655.40, you're about $4, $5 above it right now. That would also say to hang on to that trade, or a couple of call options, however you want to go. And this is the same for the XLK, right? Because if these indices are going to suggest that it can close above that resistance point, then the XLK probably should continue to move higher. So those are two areas that I would be looking at if I were you, to make a judgment call as to how long to hold on to those trades. But pretty cool that last week we said, hey, you should see the XLK move up until Monday. And voila, here we are. Now, another question that came in was if we could go take a look at some other time frames inside of the ES Mini, which we'll do, and see if there's any seventh wave moves, peak Gs, that are forming out here. And if we take a look at the 60-minute time frame, let's go see what it is doing out here. And let's take a look at it from its hammer candle low. That was the 30-minute chart. That was going into the close, and that was on, it looks like April, that looks like Friday. And so nothing there to pay attention to that I see, only in wave number 3. Hey, Ron, this would suggest that on an hourly chart, that price wants to move higher inside of the ES Mini. Let's take a look at the 240-minute chart, though, and this might say, hey, hold those horses. Mr. Z, you must have known that on the 240-minute chart out here, that where we are at inside the ES Mini is that 7th wave. Now, does that mean this is going to be the end of it? And is it just wave 7? No, because we can also label that as a 6th or 7th wave, depending on how we want to take a look at it. But what we would do here on the 240-minute time frame chart is take a look at the A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. And even though we're in wave number 7 or 6 right now, we're going to go with both. The 240-minute, the 4-hour chart here, my time frame, which I know is different than others for reasons I really don't understand. This candle doesn't complete until 2 o'clock. And if we get a higher high between 2 or anytime after 2, then it hasn't confirmed that 7th wave move out there. Ron, I don't know if you want to use this 7th wave as a reason to exit. If I were going to look for a reason, that would be it. What I would share with you is on the 240-minute chart, the last high that it made out here was made with Stevie's favorite pattern, just as the last low was made, and we don't have that pattern in play as we speak right now. But that's about all that I can provide to you. Where's the ES likely headed to? Higher. So maybe it just simply extends that 7th wave. And I suggest higher because price should go target its descending price channel. And that's in the 27.18-ish area. Or 26.85 as we speak right now. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. Be right back.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So, those numbers that Ron and I were taking, looking at the New York Stock Exchange inside of the Dow, they're really important because those, as we like to say, you and I, the gaps are our friends. They're not our foes. No matter whether it's a gap to the upside or a gap to the downside. Really cool technical use of support or resistance out here. And what we have going on as we speak at 1:42 in the afternoon is we have a really nice, this looks to be pretty firm here, a really nice market breadth crossover on the daily time frame for the S&P 500. And if this holds through the end of the day, and that's what's really important, if we see a sell-off coming into the close here, then this wide spread that we're starting to get, and by widespread, there's 173 issues trading above the top of their box versus 89 below the bottom, 35% versus 18%, so a 2-to-1 ratio in essence of market breadth out here. And typically, look, these daily signals cannot be overlooked. And that's the thing. Market breadth will take your breath away. Or it certainly can, and that's on a positive side. So even though we've got that ES mini and the 240-minute chart in that seventh wave, what that could mean is not a long-term top, but really more of a shorter-term top out there. Now, Ron's got to deal with an expiration of Friday, so it's a little bit more complicated than that. But if you are a holder being long the markets, like subscribers and I are out here, we're not inside the S&P 500. We're inside two other indices. We're not jumping out of this trade at the end of the day. There's too many other signals here that say, hold your horses. We might get some pullbacks, but price has got to close below Stevie's red line out here. So we may have timed this thing very nicely out here. We're in that favorable seasonal cycle, which should take prices higher for another solid month out here. Doesn't mean we're not going to be moving back and forth, for goodness sake. So you have a nice crossover inside the S&P 500, and that may turn out to be something to think about. If we take a look at the NASDAQ also having a nice little showing as we speak right now. It will all be about today's close. But another almost, well, it's a 2-to-1 ratio, 36 issues, traded above the top of their box, 19 below the bottom. So you're getting a nice market breadth crossover inside of the NASDAQ 100. So no reason to exit your long positions. We're long the NASDAQ 100. We're long the Dow, too, so I certainly want to see it close above that gap to the downside, and we'll just continue to assess things one moment at a time. Duffy wants to know what is the value of Stevie's red line on the Qs out here, and let's go do that for the Duffmeister out here. With regard to the S&P 500, let's see if I put this out here. The red line number is 2636.21. With regard to the Qs, it'll take just a moment here to populate. Duff, your number is 160.40 out here. 160.40 is the number. So hopefully that helps you out with regard to however you might be using that piece of information out here. And you're welcome. I don't have any other questions that I see, so I'll just take one more quick peek and make sure. Yep, nothing else out here. I don't think there's anything inside the Tiger's Den. So what do you guys want to look at, guys and gals? What do you want to look at out here? Let's look at something that's getting trashed. What is getting trashed? What? Acacia Communications, is that a part of Martin Sorrell? Or anything out there? That thing is just getting, yeah, maybe it is. It's getting just simply pummeled. So let's not take a look at that. Although it is an interesting thing to look at something that's being pummeled out here. What is Acacia? Anybody out there know? Why is the snot being kicked out of Acacia? Basically everybody inside this trade is in a losing position. Yeah. If my chart is correct, this thing went public back, it looks like, in 2016. And so everybody in this thing, except for maybe a few traders in the last hour or so, is in a losing position. Oof, my goodness. What about the airline you talked about? Where is it bottom at? And what's the ticker symbol for Allegiant? Polar, do you know? I don't even know. I just know I've got a ticket that I've thrown in the drawer, and tonight I'll look at other airline possibilities like Delta. The only reason why I took Allegiant was it was a nonstop flight, which was pretty nice. And I didn't have to rent a car and drive a few hours. And ALGT. So let's go take a look at ALGT. ALGT out here. See what it is doing. So where's its bottom? Well, I'm just going to put this on a weekly time frame first and see what we can find out here. And what I'm looking for, folks, I'm looking for any kind of big, major, high-volume area. And, you know, is there anything that sticks out? And if I were to really find some support, I have to come back to 2011. I'm not suggesting this coming back to $47 or so, but that would be it. At this stage of the game, with this thing making lower highs and certainly good volume this week, let's take a look at where its next stop is. Let's just do this here. Let's come over. What is the ALGT? So ALGT, good exercise. So thanks for asking. Let's go take a look at its horizontal trading ranges out here, see if there's anything that pops up. Well, this thing ought to be heading down to the 136.32 level. If it's going to find support, now it will do that if it breaks through, closes below 145.76. It's a weekly time frame horizontal trading range. There have been 9 other closes at the price point where it's trading right now. So if it's able to break through this, I'm going to go with it's heading down next to 125.04 out here with regard to Allegiant. If I take a look at its TAS market profiles, ALGT out here, let's really see where the monthly is. This is trading inside the monthly. This would suggest to me, Polar, that 124.87. So that takes you right back to its swing point from the trading week of September 1st, 2017. 3.8 million shares there. You've already done 3.1 million shares today. So those would be price target areas that I would be looking at out here. When this last tested a swing point in August 2016, it was 3.4 million shares, and it was being tested with light volume. And that's why it did not bust through the lows out here from August. That may be a different story as we speak this time, because it certainly has volume pushing down. But at this stage, Allegiant Airlines, they got my money, but they're not going to get my derriere, so to speak. And I'd say 124.87 is the price area where this is headed to. They have to do a lot to tell me just simply how safe. I certainly don't want to fly an MD-80. That's for sure. Okay, please look at Keys. Keys is the ticker symbol. So let's go do that. Duffmeister up twice in a row out here. And Lauren wants to take a look at GE. So we'll take a look at GE. We'll do that during the 2 minutes that we have left when we get back from this break. By the way, Keys, which is Keysight Technology, looks pretty bullish to me. Let's see, this thing is heading into its daily swing point for March 12th. That had volume of 919,000 shares. Boy, you're up here with light volume. So at this stage here, I'm going to see Alicia Keys probably just simply trading in this range out here. Not ready to bust out 55.21 just yet. May pull back into the 50 area. That is Keysight Technology. We'll be back with Lorna to take a look at General Electric. We'll be right back.
Would you like exposure to the foreign currency markets without any downside risk to your principal? Then consider the Petro Currencies Market Safe CD from Everbank. This 3-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD leverages the performance of 4 equally weighted currencies from these top oil-producing countries: Brazil, Canada, Mexico, and Russia. This CD features a 200% leverage factor, which means that your potential upside payment will be double the currency's average performance at maturity with no cap if the currencies increase in value over the CD's term. And if the returns are negative, your principal's 100% protected. Returns are based on CD performance with no correlation to the price of oil, and there is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. The April 19th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a division of TIAA FSB, member FDIC. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's TigerTV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
This is David White. Stay tuned because coming up next is the Power Trading Hour right here on TFNN.
Welcome back. So, Duff, with regard to Keysight Technology, if we take a look at this swing point high out here in daily chart, it was for March 12th. And on March 12th, there was 919,000 shares out there. And then you can see a nice big old bearish engulfing candle that formed the next day. So it tells us that that is a resistance level, 55.21. Again, 919,000 shares. This thing was pushing in there with 1.2 million on Friday, and then ends up going ahead and creating a shooting star. So what we know about Keys, sellers are up here. If you can overtake the sellers, then this could form an A to B equals CD to the upside. Ready request to go take a look at General Electric. And if we take a look at GE, I'm going to put up the daily chart. And our Tigress, Lorna, is in this since about 18. You have some since 18. Okay, you're at 1332. Here's your only hope at this stage of the game. Has this found a bottom is the question. That's the game we're playing out here. And what we can see is there was a small sign of strength, very small, but nonetheless a small sign of strength on March 27, when this came off the bottom with about 154 million shares. What you like to see is if it's a breakout, you like to see price come back and test the breakout area on light volume. Well, it did that on April 3rd, 59 million shares versus 154. Tested it again with 68 million shares April 9th. Tested it again on April 11th with 50 million shares. So this is trying to form a bottom. Doesn't mean they can't bust it out. You'll know if, in fact, price can close above 1442 out here as we take a look at the daily set of TAS market profiles. So that's the only hope that you have at this stage. The weekly and the monthly basically look terrible. And should you average down? Absolutely not. Not on, because you do not have any sign out here that this thing has really changed a trend. So no, we don't want to do that. Take your money and invest it in something better than at least this chart that you and I are looking at right now. Folks, stay tuned. Your favorite polar bear. He's my favorite polar bear. He's the world's favorite polar bear. You got to love that. David White. He's up next. Then you've got Tom O'Brien, 3 to 5. I'll be back with you on terrific Tuesday. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. Take care.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.